My name is Chloe, aka Moonrays, on YouTube, and I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different in this YouTube video than I have done in the past. So I am wanting to kind of go over some of my favorite animes of all time and maybe try to list them for you guys. So number one, Attack on Titan.
My soldiers push forward! My soldiers scream out! My soldiers rage!
Attack on Titan is the best anime I've ever seen in my entire life. And I was watching it back in what was it? It was before the second season was announced. And all we had was the first season. And I was like, I watched the first season and I was like, this is incredible. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And that was back before they even said they were making a season 2. And I feel like there was just season 1 for a very long time. And, sorry about that. My cats are going crazy in the living room. So I watched Attack on Titan, it was before they announced the season 2. And oh my gosh, it's just so good. It's when you watch it, you have to watch everything. You have to pay attention to everything. Because there's stuff in season 1 that connects on into the later seasons. I don't know. It was just a masterpiece. It was a masterpiece. I also think it was because Levi was also whenever I was 13, the love of my life. So Attack on Titan follows Eren Yeager, who is the main protagonist. He goes through something traumatic in the first season. They live in these 3 different sectors. There's 3 tiers. I'm going to include a picture of what the walls look like right here in front of my face. And outside of these walls are these titans, which are these huge, they can be super tall, or they can be kind of the same height as a human, if not a little bit taller, which those freak me out worse than the taller ones. And they're these humanoid creatures that eat humans, and there's not a reason for them to do it. They're not hungry. They just do it to do it. There's 3 different sections in Attack on Titan. So you have the Survey Corps, you have the Military Police Corps, and you also have is it the Police Corps? Why am I not remembering that? Hang on. Please forgive me. I also haven't, and this is gonna be so bad, I haven't watched the final season of Attack on Titan. I just can't get myself to, because when I become hyper obsessed with something, or I really like something, it's so hard for me to finish it, because I just get so sad. I get so sad when I think about it. So I haven't finished it. I know what happens in it though, because I did read a good portion of the manga, so I knew what was gonna happen in it. I just I'm saving it for a time where I'm more mentally stable to watch it. But Attack on Titan's so good. But they have the 3 corps that you can join, and Eren is this young boy who wants to be in the Survey Corps. Basically, the Survey Corps goes out and tries to explore further past the walls to see if there's any civilization, try to do research on the Titans and stuff, and they go out and they risk their lives going out to find and to kind of explore. And that's what Eren wants to do. I don't want to say too much more because it's gonna spoil it, and there's so much I could say, but I just can't get into it right now. If you like a good horror or thriller, a lot of people were comparing it to Japan's The Walking Dead was Attack on Titan. Big Walking Dead fan too. God, I stopped after season 7, episode 1. Yeah, I did. And I dropped it. But that's off topic. This is off topic though. This was my first ever manga purchase in my life, and this was the sub-series. It was the Attack on Titan No Regrets, and it was about Levi's background, and I got the complete colored edition of it. You can see it's damaged on the bottom and the top. When I was in 7th grade, this was my favorite book. I read this constantly, and I read it all the way through because I was also obsessed with Levi, because I was I'm in love with him, that's my husband, when I was 13. But there's Like, just look at that. Look at that art style. Ugh, the pages are just so nice. It's like my first ever, like, purchase in the manga section. All right, we'll go on to number 2. Number 2, and it's probably going to be controversial that I didn't put this number 1. Attack on Titan's my baby, right? Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Tell you that you have to figure it out. Stand up and walk. Keep moving forward. You've got 2 good legs, so use them. You're strong enough to make your own path.
Full Metal Alchemist, and I'm sure everybody knows Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is just the greatest because it was like number 1 on Crunchyroll for like the longest time. But it genuinely deserved that number 1 spot. It was so good. It's so good. 10 out of 10. Full Metal Alchemist follows Edward Elric and his brother Alphonse Elric. Edward and Elric are 2 brothers that grew up together. Their dad kind of walked out on them. Mom was the only one who was raising them. Well, the mom ends up getting sick and passing away. So Edward and Alphonse are like, I think they're like 9 and 11. I can't remember. I know they were super young though. Like they were children. They lost their mom. In this world, in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, there is alchemy. And alchemy is kind of like this magical power, like undertone. People can draw transmutation circles, which causes them to be able to... It's almost like if you ever watched Avatar The Last Airbender, they can kind of bend stuff or create things. Edward is able to create metal. So he is like able to form weapons and stuff like that. And he kind of like just lifts the ground up sometimes. He's like a Toph, you know? Their mom ends up passing away. Well, they're like studying like, oh, what about human transmutation? Which means that they could bring a human back to life. So Edward and Alphonse go get everything that is made up of a human body. And it's also a forbidden sin, by the way. Like, no one's supposed to transmutate a human. It's supposed to be an abomination, like evil. Like, you're not supposed to do that. But they're kids, so they're like, yeah, let's go do it. Let's bring mom back. So they do it. What they create is this disgusting monster that only lives for like maybe 3 seconds. And as Edward is transmutating, he looks up and he sees this like disgusting shell of what his mother was. It's like not even his mom. He looks over and Alphonse is gone and missing his arm. So he's missing his arm and Alphonse is completely gone. And he's like, oh my gosh. And he's like bleeding out and he's like, I gotta save my brother. So he basically seals Alphonse's soul in a body of armor. Whenever they did this transmutation, Edward's seen what is known as the truth or God in this world. So he like learned all this knowledge, like his brain gets like overwhelmed, gains the knowledge of the world basically. And he seals his little brother in a suit of armor. And basically they go on this journey to try to get their bodies back. Like they're trying to figure out how to get their bodies back. There's just so much more to this anime and I highly recommend watching it. If you are like new to anime and you're wanting to get into anime, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is probably, in my opinion, one of the best to start with. One of the best. So probably better to start with that before Attack on Titan. This is my number 3 anime of all time is Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Frieren, oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's a little bit different. It's got action and romance and a little bit of a slice of life, but it's fantasy. So you're in a world where like elves and dwarves and like monsters, demons, everything like kind of exist. Frieren is an elf who's over 1,000 years old, who was a part of the Heroes Party, and the original Heroes Party included Himmel the Hero, Aizen the Warrior, and then the Corrupt Priest, and then Frieren. So they were in the Heroes Party. Himmel was in love with Frieren, like genuinely head over heels in love with Frieren. But Himmel was a human. Eisen the warrior was a dwarf, and then the corrupt priest was, of course, a priest, but he was human. But priests also live longer than humans in this world, if that's what they kind of dedicate themselves to. But Frieren was an elf. She was also a mage. Elves, of course, live for a very, very long time. And I'm about to say some stuff that's probably going to include spoilers. So if you don't want to know spoilers, I would probably kind of skip ahead. But it's all set in like the first episode, so I don't really think it's that much of a spoiler. But I'll try to include a timestamp for y'all if that's what you want. But Himmel was in love with Frieren. Absolutely head over heels in love with Frieren. And Frieren, like, it's like they develop, in my opinion, like their emotions and like their thoughts and stuff. I feel like they develop it on a longer scale, so it takes them longer to develop that. Himmel, like, always, like, and it like never says it. That's what makes it so bad, is it's like Himmel never says that he was like in love with Frieren, but you get all of this like information, and it's like, that man was in love with you. That man was in love with you. You get all this information, and it's like, yeah, Himmel was in love with Frieren. Frieren realizes, so Himmel, they defeat the Demon King. That was like the original Heroes Party like job, was to defeat the Demon King. So they defeat the Demon King, and then Frieren and all them meet up, and they see this meteor shower that only happens once every 50 years. And she's like, why don't, in the next 50 years, we'll come back and we'll meet up here. And so they're like, okay, let's split up. Frieren goes and does a bunch of stuff. She does a bunch of studying, hones in on her magic, like is really training herself. And then she goes back 50 years later, goes back to the town where Himmel is at. And when she gets there, Himmel is an old man, like a very, very old man. And so this is probably going to be his last journey to go see the meteor shower. So everybody, Eisen the warrior, the corrupt priest, everybody gets together and they go see a shower and stuff, and Himmel ends up passing away a little bit after that, and Frieren attends the funeral, and Frieren talks about how she didn't realize how short human lives truly were. And it's like Frieren kind of starts noticing on this journey like that she herself loved Himmel, and that's in my opinion. Like, I feel like on this journey, like, she herself is realizing that she loved Himmel, but it was too late. Like, it's too late that she realized that. But it's like all this stuff. I cry every episode. You cry every episode. There's something sad that happens every episode. But it's funny at times, and it's got action, it's fantasy, and it's really good. Frieren ends up joining a different group with another mage named Fern, and Stark, who is a warrior like Eisen, and Stark actually trained under Eisen. So she's kind of like noticed like we shouldn't take like the smaller things in life for granted, and a lot of the episodes is them doing like smaller things. Now there are some episodes where they're very action packed, but it's like they do a lot to help those around them, and she like really pays attention to Fern and Stark in this, and it's like she's realizing like you have to love them while they're here, kind of thing. It was so sad, but it's such a good anime. Such a good anime. Number three definitely on my list right now. It's so good. Okay, number 4. So my number 4 anime that is my favorite, my personal favorite, is going to be The Apothecary Diaries.
Mind up.
これ毒です。
So The Apothecary Diaries, it takes place in like ancient China, where there's like an emperor, and like the emperor has concubines. Like it's like ancient China. So it follows Mao Mao, who is the main character in this. She is an apothecary, so she loves to make medicine and to mess around with poisons. Poisons are like her favorite thing ever. She'd do anything for poison, and So she studies in on that, but solves a bunch of mysteries that are happening around the palace. And there's also a romance in it between her and Jingxi. Jingxi is a eunuch that works within the palace, and known to be very beautiful and to almost look like a woman because of his beauty. Takes interest in Mao Mao, so they go and they're kind of solving mysteries, and they're a lot of stuff that happens in there. The like kind of like mystery like part of it is so good and well, like detective, almost like Sherlock Holmes, but back then, and if Sherlock was a girl. So if you like Sherlock Holmes, you'd probably like Apothecary Diaries. It's really good. It's 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I love the romance in it, and it's super funny at times and super serious at times. So yeah, it's really good. All right, and this is going to be the last one. If you guys want to see my top 10 favorite animes of all time, I can go over that. I'm really just going to go over 5 today. So my 5th favorite anime of all time is going to be, and I'm probably really basic for this, but it's going to be Demon Slayer. I really do like Demon Slayer. I think that it's really good. And coming from like a Christian perspective, Tanjiro, who's the main character in it, shows a lot of attributes that's like Jesus would act this way. Really good like characteristics taken from Jesus that you could put in Tanjiro, because Tanjiro's just so good. He's just so good. But it's a fantastic anime. It's got action, definitely some violence in it. It's got comedy, a little bit of romance, not much romance in it, like that's really like far down on the plots, but it's really good. It follows Tanjiro, who this is, I guess, kind of a spoiler, so spoiler warning. He comes home one day and his family has been killed by a demon. In this world there are demons. His sister was the only one that was left alive. Apparently the demon had turned his sister into a demon as well. Nezuko, the only demon that seems like she can control her bloodlust or her thirst. Now she does still have issues or temptations along the way where it's like she wants to act on it, because demons eat humans in this world. But you kind of follow along with Tanjiro. He's trying to find the demon that killed his family, so he can get justice for his family. And he's also trying to figure out a way to turn his sister back into a human. It's really good. It's really funny at times. There's a lot of action, and I highly recommend it if you're wanting to get into like an action anime. But yeah, so that's my top 5, and they're probably pretty basic right now. They're really like the newer stuff that's kind of came out. If you guys want to see like some of the older animes that I really like, or that I recommend, I've watched a bunch of romance anime, so I could definitely give a list on that. If you guys want to see more of this, or if you guys want me to do another 5-part series, or if you guys want like beginner animes, or like what I would recommend to start out on if you're just trying to get into anime, guys, just let me know. Please let me know in the comments what your favorite animes are, or if you would like to see more of this. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. You guys have a good day.